talk a little bit in station here. Yep, that's better. It's a little too loud there.
Yeah, let me get up and see what I can do.
So
I got you.
The State Theater presents Nagavalli, Saturday, February 10th, 2024. Doors open at 7. The show starts at 8 p.m. Nagavalli presents First and Foremost, where East meets West, featuring Anastasia, Hera, Candice, Sanders, Faaris, Indrajit, Banerjee, Jeska, Forsyth, Kalu, James, Nelson, Aguilar, Como las Movies, Patrick Vonne, Promqueen. This sounds like this is going to be a lot of fun. And this is returning to the State Theater after a sold-out show here in 2023. So we have Nagavalli in studio with us today.
Yay.
How are you this morning?
Doing good. Thank you for having me this morning.
So I may have messed up a few of the names, and you make sure you tell them that you tried, and that clearly this gentleman needs to work on cultural pronunciations, and I hope they don't hold that against you. So let's talk about this. So this is a release show for you. Got an album coming up.
I actually released my album at the Stateside Paramount Theater last year, 2023.
Yeah.
Pretty much on the same date, February 11th was the Saturday.
Wow.
So I just wanted to go back and play there, and and kind of really bring my artist friends with me on stage to collaborate, and so that's why this show happened.
So we're saying First and Foremost is where East meets West. I saw some of the names. Who from the East?
Myself.
Okay. Where at? How far east? I'm thinking Boston.
I grew up in Mumbai, India.
Oh, you went farther east.
Yes.
Okay.
Although Austin has been home from a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I came to the country for grad school and kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Been in Austin, call it home now. But I grew up in Mumbai, learning kind of Indian music, and so I write a style that is a mix of Indian and Western music. I kind of bring East Indian overtones into pop rock. Trance music.
Yeah. So I'm very curious here. When you did come from Mumbai, where'd you come first? You said grad school. Where
Tallahassee, Florida State.
Oh.
Seminoles now.
Oh.
That's cool.
Hey, y'all had a good year. Y'all won the ACC this year, and unfortunately, quarterback got hurt. You had a chance at a national championship. Sorry about that. I might have brought up some bad vibes there, but that's a good and a bad place to come. Could you imagine coming from another country and you going to Tallahassee, simply Courtney?
Just Florida in general. That's different.
And then that's up there off of 10, are like our most boring road in all of America.
Yeah.
What were your impressions, Nagavalli?
I grew up in Mumbai. That's, the closest. What really got me nostalgic about Mumbai was when I went to New York here. So that's the comparison I have. So sometimes I say that going to Tallahassee was like a reverse culture shock.
Okay.
It's a great college town, and it was a good way to ease into moving into another new country.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so
great school, of course, Yeah.
I know that there are, when we talk East meets West, like this is a great conversation I always like to get into. A lot of people may not know of some bangers and how there's already been a mesh, and we just have to think about it. So I want you to think of some of the best Eastern music that has come in here to the West and taken over, and I want to offer you something here. This is a banger for me. Man,
I'm learning something today.
Okay, hold on, Courtney.
Yeah, I'm here. I think I already recognize where we're going.
Wait till the beat drop. Here it comes.
And the beat comes. Yeah. No?
No, I think there's another part.
Yeah, but it's
because the song that people use to they sample.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
there it is.
yeah.
That was the song. Yeah.
As soon as I picked up the voice, I recognized the sample. Nice.
Yeah, so they sped it up, but
I'm trying to remember.
that's the spark.
What's that? I don't remember the
True
lady.
Hurts.
There you go, True Hurts. Yes.
So Nagavalli, did I impress you there? That I could go back to 1981? And I'm
Yes.
familiar.
Yes.
Yeah, I know about
and
Lata.
Yeah.
I may be pronouncing that wrong. Lata
Mangeshkar.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to understand that we've already been doing East meets West and get them hyped to some of these opportunities with you here. What say you when I wanted to also give you a little time to think it through. Could you think of some other East meets West collabs that have caught on?
I mean, there have been, Ravi Shankar playing sitar, I think, is who initially brought this whole idea of Eastern music and Eastern classical music, Indian classical music into the US. So right from the time of the Beatles, there have been collaborations. The band Shakti, this is more on the instrumental side, instrumental classical, semi-classical side, but the band Shakti just won the Global Music Award at the Grammys the other day.
All right, congratulations.
And with Zakir Hussain and Shankar Mahadevan and others. So I think that blend has been there. A lot of hip hop has been, especially in Europe and UK, has been mixed with Bhangra and other styles of Indian music. Yeah.
I got
there you go.
Simply Courtney. I know you got this one.
This one just came up recently. I'm trying to. Sorry, this is a question, and then maybe you guys can help me with this or not. Supposedly, the guy was not saying anything in the song; that he was just saying like it was just a bunch of nonsense or something like that. And maybe there's a few songs that have happened. Timbaland has a few beats like that.
Yeah.
And that people were like either translating or saying he's just up there spouting gibberish or whatever it was. And so I just love it because none of us knew. We with this.
We don't know. We
Punjabi
like the
MC,
beat.
I think. Yeah.
And I love Nagavalli. I like that when this happens, when this merge happens, like you said when you first started Simply Courtney, when I first started playing Lata, you said, I'm about to learn something today. And I think that's what it is. And Nagavalli, I think that's where you're going. Your aim is to enlighten people about where there could be some merging, some new paths together.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely not how I started off. I think when I was writing, I started writing my own songs, and that happened here in Austin. I just was naturally writing a blend of styles where it was naturally I was writing in English, but the melodies that I was writing was kind of had the vocal stylings of Indian music as well. So I just made a conscious decision not to kind of resist that, because initially I was like, I'm writing in English, I gotta sound all popish or American or Western, and so I just made a conscious decision that that's not what I was about, so I should just stay true to what naturally comes to me.
How long did that process take for you to go from? Go ahead.
So go from.
I was gonna say, how long did that process take for you to go from what you wanted to try to do to switching to what actually speaks to you and what you actually want to do?
It was literally from the get-go. That's how I was writing.
Okay.
So. And I used to play my music to one of the jazz teachers, Susie Stern, here in town, and she kind of encouraged me to kind of stay true to how I want to write my music, and so I never quite deviated from that. I've went right in, and so I write in English, but I bring a lot of vocal or just melodic stylings from the culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
thank you.
Indian music struck a chord at the 2024 Grammy Awards, as you said. There were 5 Indian musicians, including tabla maestro Zakir Hussain.
That's from the Shakti and
flautist Rakesh Chaurasia.
Rakesh Chaurasia.
Picking up trophies at the ceremony. Hussain was India's big winner with 3 Grammys.
Nice.
And Rakesh Chaurasia picked up 2.
Not bad at all.
I think in 2024, I think that is, Nagavalli, that's something to celebrate. I think to celebrate the fact that we are getting diversity in the awards, and I'm very impressed by that. So Nagavalli, when you're talking about bringing all of your friends, could you tell us a little bit about some of the people that are on the docket that you're featuring?
We talked about who's from the East. I also have Pandit Indrajit Banerjee, a master just a sitar player, also plays with the band Atash here in town.
Okay.
Faaris is a young Pakistani American hip hop artist. He will be opening the show.
Nice.
I met him just a couple of months back, actually through some of the advocacy work that I'm involved in, which is around bringing promoting rather more diversity in Austin music, more diverse genres in Austin music. Of course, the heavy hitters, as you know, there on the bill: Anastasia, Hera, Patricia, Vonne, Tomar Williams. It's just amazing. Kalu James, just amazing folks, and it's just an incredible honor for me that I have these artists coming and joining me on stage. A lot of them are kind of presenting, their take on the music that I've written over the years.
Right.
So we are collaborating that way. So I can't wait.
I recognize quite a few of those names. That's cool. That's dope.
Yeah, and the Quentin Arispe. I hope I'm sure I'm missing Promqueen.
Yeah.
Vietnamese American artist who writes again another Eastern artist, but from a Vietnamese background, who also writes hip hop. And has been doing really well. I think she's just releasing a single in 2 days.
Yeah. So Nagavalli presents first and foremost where East meets West, featuring Anastasia, Hera, Candice Sanders, Faaris, Indrajit Banerjee, Jeska, Forsyth, Kalu James, Nelson Aguilar, Como las Movies, Patricia, Vonne, Promqueen, Quentin, Arispe, and Tomar Williams.
Tomar Williams, yes.
I'm telling you.
Just my brother, yeah.
This sounds like this is going to be amazing. And then I like that you were able to tell us a little bit about the background / ethnicities of those that are going to be involved, just so we can just see, it is pretty diverse. I got playing in the background, this is Zakir Hussain and Rakesh Chaurasia. Now, this was in 2015 at the Crossroads Festival. But the flautist gained a little momentum here in the last 6-7 months because Andre 3000 came out
with the flute.
And he's a flautist.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm very curious as we let this ride for a little bit. What did you think when Andre 3000 came out and he came out with that as a flautist?
I wasn't giving up.
I mean, it was a shock.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good for him because he said, "I'm not in a space to rap right now."
No.
Is it okay for us to allow someone to breathe? To stretch their legs?
I think this is really close to what happened when people got older, as far as the first time we had a Jay-Z or so forth hit 40, and everybody used to say, you can't rap after a certain, it's a young person's thing. Well, we're learning now, not only can you do something different, but you can continue to evolve later on in life. And I think that's what Andre 3000 showed us an example of, was evolving as an adult, which a lot of us don't talk about in the media. Everybody tries to show up and be the same thing over and over and time again. So I think it was cool to see him evolve and then be allowed to do such,
Yeah, I did of course, once there was a buzz was there, I read up and caught up on what was going on. But, Yeah, I've never been quite very genre centered around my own music. And if you see the artists that I'm bringing in, I mean,
all
like
different.
Jeska, Comolas movies, Nelson Aguilar, that's Latin. Jeska does a completely different style. I have hip hop guys on there. So I think the beauty, and especially as Austin grows into this international city more and more, that is, it's the beauty is in the melting pot and what we can create out of it.
Yeah. So I got another Zakir Hussain, Bella Fleck, Edgar Meyer, featuring Rakesh Charasia right now. For those who don't know, as I bring this from YouTube, in this collabo that's playing right now, they have someone on a banjo. They have a someone on a bass, a stand-up bass. You hear the flautist and then you hear the drums. What a mix. If you told me that's East meets West, a banjo, I like it.
That's aesthetically pleasing to the ears.
It is.
In a sense, it's just if I went in somewhere and that was playing in the background, I think I'd be at peace and I'd be able to work with music like this. I'm a person that's it's hard for me to get comfortable in a space to work in until I am.
Yeah.
Then I'm good, but that would be something I think I could put on that could instantly put me in a state of relax or, focus, I think. I like that.
Yeah.
And Nagavalli, you said that at this show you're going to be singing.
I'm a singer essentially.
So what are some of your influences? What style are we getting from you? Anybody that we may know? You're out there forging your own way ahead. I'm just kind of curious of what we have in store.
I do think I kind of do my own thing, because I grew up with learning Indian classical music and and Bollywood and Indian contemporary music. My exposure to Western music was fairly limited. My dad had some Barbra Streisand and Jim Reeves at home. So really it was only like in my undergrad and after coming here I kind of was, listening to some more bands. So I've kind of been in my own space doing my own thing, but more and more, of course, you hear, especially from the diaspora that's growing up here, kind of ride the blend. And again, I think that's what I was alluding to. It's just what naturally comes to somebody like me, or maybe somebody, a young Indian person growing up here. Because for me, it's my music is kind of a reflection of my life between the two cultures and my musical experiences between the two cultures.
It's a connective tissue. It's a connective tissue between the two.
Yeah.
It's kind of fire.
So when you had your first album that came out, Numinosum. This
was my third album last year.
That was third.
Yes.
So what? I can't say I know the word. So help us out. Album title. Where do we get that from?
Numinosum it means this moment where one is capable of profound transformation or a profound breakthrough happens.
Okay.
So you're struggling through a problem. You go through the different phases of of solving that problem.
Yeah.
And there is a moment where a human being is capable of profound transformation, or where creativity happens.
Yeah.
And that's called Numinosum. I think it's like also like a psychology term, or I don't remember the exact details, but somewhere I forgot the name of the person, but they were looking at how, like, what ties all spirituality beyond religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simply Courtney.
Yo.
I'm glad I asked. You know I'm about to use that word.
You better.
Numinosum. I'm about to transform. I mean, there's about to be a profound transformation, and I'm gonna be dropping that sucker like for the rest of the day at least.
So you're Numinoside. Numinosing? Are you Numinosing then?
Yeah. I mean, I felt the way your explanation, Nagavalli, just makes me think of like an atom bomb just going off and just an explosion. That's what I thought. Like Numinosum just sounds like an explosion. I mean, that would be pretty profound. But just
I think so.
An explosion, just a just a reveal, a revelation, and a mass sharing. Am I getting what your intent was with it?
Yes, because I mean that's where, I mean, as artists, when we are writing music, or when we come up with that new album, it is a process.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And it's not like I can get up every day and write the same music, at least, and for me, so it's somewhere there's a revelation, and then it flows. Yeah. And that's the moment.
So, I like it.
So your given name is Nagavalli?
Nagavalli, yes.
That's a popular name, correct? Of course, not from Boston where you're from, but let's say Mumbai, India, for instance. Would that be a popular name?
Not very common, but it's kind of common in South India.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I grew up in Mumbai. My folks speak a language from the South, so at home. So it's a fairly known a South Indian name. Yeah.
Wait a minute. We about to do some cultural understanding here.
Let's do it.
So you grew up in Mumbai. Your parents are from the South, and they spoke a different language.
Yeah.
And hold on now. So then, what language was spoken in Mumbai then? That was not from the South.
So India has just like many official languages.
I've heard.
Yeah. So Mumbai is in a state called Maharashtra. The state speaks Marathi.
Okay.
Hindi is, of course, also very common, and the Bollywood industry is very centered around Hindi.
Okay.
Yes.
Then my folks are originally from a state called Andhra Pradesh in the south.
Yeah.
And they speak Telugu there.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So I grew up speaking Telugu at home.
Yeah.
Mostly living on Hindi outside in Mumbai.
Yes.
Mumbai being a very cosmopolitan place.
Uh-huh.
Understanding a little bit of Marathi, not too well.
Okay.
And English, of course, learning that in school.
Wow.
I worked with a few comics during the pandemonium, as we call it. We were doing online shows, and so I had a few friends that not only did they book me on their online shows, I ended up booking them on mine as well. And the place again with the M, say it again.
Maharashtra.
Okay, so I had to pay them, and I had to learn the hard lesson of converting or conversions and all that, and then I had to like pay to the direct bank. And
okay.
I ended up just, yeah, it was wild because they were two like separate individuals. But at the end of the day, it was such a hard process. They ended up having to pay them together, and so I ended up like they knew each other, but you don't want to pay somebody else's fee.
Yes.
And so I ended up having to pay both of them through one channel because I went through so much heck trying to go from one bank to the next. And I had to learn about transferring and all of that. And so I remember that name when you said it. I said, wait a minute, I know about that. So I told them anyways that once this all clears up, I'm going to come see y'all in person. I'm going to pay y'all in person because this is horrible. But it was so fun.
Oh, so we're going to go to break.
Okay.
The State Theater, Saturday, February 10th. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Nagavalli presents First and Foremost, where East meets West. Come out. Nagavalli, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Us today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah.